You've probably noticed this. Some leaders walk into a room and immediately energize the people around them. Their vision feels contagious. Their persistence, their optimism, it makes you want to follow them. What you're seeing there isn't just charisma, it's motivation, one of the core pillars of emotional intelligence. And here's the thing, motivation isn't just a personality trait, it's a skill you can understand, train, and strengthen if you know what's happening inside the brain and body. Today, we're going to unpack motivation through the lens of emotional intelligence. We'll look at what it really is, how it works on a neurological level, why it matters so much for leadership, and practical steps you can take to cultivate it. I'm Kevin Brunner, a team leader in the chemistry industry, and I'm here to help you lead with more clarity, confidence, and connection. Let's get started. When Daniel Goleman outlined the 5 pillars of emotional intelligence, motivation was one of them. But he wasn't just talking about drive in the traditional sense. He meant intrinsic motivation. That's the feel that comes from inside, a sense of purpose, growth, mastery, and meaning. It's very different from extrinsic motivation, which comes from outside. Things like money, promotion, recognition, or fear of failure. In leadership, intrinsic motivation matters far more. Because when challenges hit, and they always do, external rewards don't carry you very far. It's the inner drive, the bigger why, that sustains you through pressure, setbacks, and uncertainty. And here's what really gets interesting. This isn't just a psychological idea. Motivation has a biological foundation. Every thought, every feeling, every drive you have is connected to neurotransmitters, those tiny chemical messengers that shape your behavior. Let's look at a few of the key players in motivation. First, dopamine, the anticipation chemical. Dopamine gets labeled as the pleasure chemical, but that's not exactly true. It's not about pleasure, it's about anticipation. It's the brain's way of saying, move towards this. There's something rewarding ahead. Every time you set a goal, every time you imagine a better outcome, dopamine fires. That's why motivated leaders are often goal oriented. They're naturally leveraging dopamine pathways. Second, serotonin, the confidence chemical. Serotonin is tied to mood, confidence, and stability. When serotonin is strong, you feel capable, resilient, and grounded. Leaders with high intrinsic motivation often project calm optimism, and that's serotonin at work. Third, oxytocin, the connection chemical. Oxytocin builds trust, bonding, and social connection. Why does this matter for motivation? Because humans are wired to move towards goals together. Leaders who connect with their team, who build trust, actually enhance collective motivation by boosting oxytocin levels across the group. Fourth, endorphins, the reward chemical. Endorphins give us runner's high. They reduce pain and create bursts of energy. And they're the brain's natural encouragement system when things get tough. So when you think of motivation, don't just think of grit or willpower. Think of a finely tuned orchestra of neurotransmitters. Dopamine driving you forward, serotonin keeping you steady, oxytocin keeping you connected, and endorphins helping you endure. Great leaders know how to activate these systems for themselves and for others. Now let's connect this to emotional intelligence. Why does motivation make such a difference for leaders? Here are 3 big reasons. Number 1, motivation builds resilience. When obstacles appear, motivation is what keeps you from quitting. Leaders who are intrinsically motivated don't crumble when results don't come right away. They have a bigger vision that keeps them moving forward. Number 2, motivation creates contagious energy. Emotions are contagious. Neuroscientists call it emotional contagion, and motivation is one of the strongest signals you can transmit. If you're excited, persistent, and purpose driven, your team feels it, and their brains actually mirror your motivation thanks to oxytocin and mirror neurons. Number three, motivation aligns actions with purpose. A motivated leader isn't just busy, they're focused. Their why guides their decisions, their priorities, and their communication. This alignment creates trust. People want to follow someone whose actions clearly serve a larger mission. Now, here's the contrast. You could be the smartest person in the room and IQ off the charts, but if you don't have motivation, your knowledge doesn't translate into leadership. Think about it. Knowledge without motivation is like a car with a powerful engine but no fuel. It looks impressive, but it isn't going anywhere. Motivation is the fuel. And in leadership, that fuel matters more than horsepower. So, how do you actually cultivate motivation as a skill? Let's get practical. One, reconnect with your why. Intrinsic motivation starts with clarity. Ask yourself, why am I doing this work? How does this connect to my values? Who benefits when I succeed? Write it down. Say it out loud. The more you articulate your why, the stronger your motivational circuits fire. Number two, use dopamine wisely. Break big goals into small wins. Every time you achieve a milestone, your brain rewards you with dopamine. That's why big, vague goals can feel overwhelming. They starve you of progress signals. Instead, break projects into small, achievable steps. Celebrate those wins. Each one creates a dopamine boost that fuels momentum. Number three, practice mindfulness to regulate serotonin. Stress is a serotonin killer. Mindfulness, breathing exercises, and reflection actually help regulate serotonin and stabilize your mood. A leader who practices mindfulness shows up calmer, steadier, and more motivating to others. Number four, build trust to boost oxytocin. Motivation thrives in safe, connected environments. When your team trusts you, their brains release oxytocin and collective motivation grows. Build that trust by listening, being transparent, and following through on your word. Number five, anchor motivation in habits, not just inspiration. Motivation isn't about waiting for a spark, it's about building systems. Leaders who rely on feeling motivated get stuck. Leaders who create habits, daily reflection, clear goals, consistent routines, train their brains to stay motivated even when the inspiration dips. Let's make this real with a couple of examples. Imagine you're leading a project and the deadline shifts unexpectedly. Some team members are discouraged. A knowledge based leader might explain logically why the timeline changed. But a motivated, emotionally intelligent leader reframes the setback as an opportunity, celebrates small wins so far, and reconnects the team to the bigger purpose. Dopamine and oxytocin kick in, and energy rises again. Or think about a crisis. Sales drop sharply. A motivated leader doesn't deny reality, but they don't collapse either. Their resilience and calm confidence, serotonin at work, reassure the team. They help everyone focused on what can be done next, not what's lost. That's the power of motivation and action. If you want to strengthen your own motivational capacity as a leader, here's a simple daily routine you can try. Morning why check in. Spend 2 minutes reminding yourself of your bigger purpose. Writing it will help you. Micro wins list. Break your day into 2, 3 achievable goals. Celebrate each one. Dopamine loves this. I personally have a list of goals for every work week where I record and track my progress. Mindful pause. Take a 3 minute break during the day just to breathe and reset. This keeps serotonin balanced. Connection moment. Intentionally check in with someone on your team. Not about tasks, but about them. This builds oxytocin and strengthens collective motivation. Evening reflection. Ask what energized me today? What got me drained? What am I grateful for? Gratitude itself boosts serotonin and dopamine, reinforcing motivation for tomorrow. Motivation isn't about being a cheerleader or endlessly hyping yourself up. It's about cultivating an inner drive that's resilient, contagious, and aligned with purpose. And at the biological level, it's about working with your brain chemistry. Dopamine for momentum, serotonin for stability, oxytocin for trust, and endorphins for endurance. When you combine that understanding with the principles of emotional intelligence, motivation stops from being a random spark. It becomes a skill you can build. So if you want to lead with more energy, more clarity, and more impact, start by strengthening your own motivation. Connect to your why. Celebrate small wins. Practice calm focus. Build trust and turn motivation into a daily habit. Because the truth is this: people don't just follow leaders for their ideas, they follow leaders for their energy. And that energy begins with intrinsic motivation. Thank you for watching. If this video resonated, hit like, subscribe, and share it with someone you think could use a motivational boost today. It means a lot to me. And in the comments, I'd love to know, what's your biggest source of motivation right now? I'm looking forward to seeing you in the next video. Empathy.